So what is self-doubt?
Let's say you have a lot of abilities, you know how to do something, but you do not believe in yourself. You don't believe that you can do it. You're doubting yourself. You don't think that you are enough, or you don't think that, okay, if I do something like this, will I succeed? You're constantly questioning yourself. You don't think that you deserve something. That's what's called self-doubt. And most of the time, self-doubt is internally. But at the end of the day, having self-doubt internally, it will always manifest externally, meaning it will manifest in your professional life, it will manifest in your personal life. And when I talk about in your professional life, you'll see yourself, you're procrastinating so many times. And we talked about procrastination in the previous episode. So if you haven't watched the previous episode, go back and watch it. Why are you procrastinating? Because you're always doubting yourself. Or maybe you have that imposter syndrome. I'm sure every one of us have had that in our lives, right? Let's say you have a certain achievement, but you think that you don't really deserve that achievement. You'll say things like, okay, I did it, but I was just lucky, because you do not believe that you can do it. You don't believe in your personal abilities. Or sometimes in your professional life, you will have to make a certain decision, maybe in your company or in your business, but you can't make that decision, or you are always struggling to decide. You're always second guessing yourself. That's how self-doubt will be manifested in your professional life. Or sometimes, have you ever seen people who are always trying to seek for others' validation? It's because they don't believe in themselves. They are always self-doubting themselves. So that's how self-doubt manifests in your professional life, and they should be very careful, because most of the people, they don't even know that they're doubting themselves. And also, self-doubt can manifest in personal life, right? There are a lot of people who have a lot of relationship issues. They are very difficult for them to form relationships, to maintain relationships, because they never think that they're enough. Or like myself, when I used to doubt myself, I used to have this very bad social anxiety. Whenever I'm in the social gathering, I'm always anxious. I had to learn about what I was going through, and I had to overcome it. It was all self-doubt. Also, there are people who are always criticizing themselves. Let's say you who you're watching, you're always criticizing yourself. You're always being hard on yourself. All of that is self-doubt, and it's manifesting in your life. So you should be very careful when you're doubting yourself, and you should know that you can do anything in this life as long as you have a plan, you have a goal. You don't have to doubt yourself. You don't have to be correct all the times. So yeah, that's it. And all these things, they have a lot of effects, right? When I talk about effects, I mean negative effects on your life. Because when you're doubting yourself, you'll find yourself like you have very low self-esteem. Like you do not believe in yourself anymore. You have that negative image on yourself, which basically is not good, because if you are seeing yourself negatively, it means the other people will also see yourself negatively. And if you are seeing yourself positively, that energy will be transfusible to other people as well. So yeah, lower self-esteem equals to lack of self-worth. It means you think that you're not worth enough. Also, doubting yourself can lead into depression. Most people who have depression, they lack self-confidence. So you have to watch that as well. And also, if you're doubting yourself always, you cannot be productive if you're doubting yourself most of the time, because you always have that fear, like, okay, I'm going to make mistakes. So if you have fear of making mistakes, that will reduce your motivation. It means you won't be doing stuff. So your productivity will be low as well. Your mental health will be so bad, and personal growth won't be there, because you're always doubting yourself. It means you ain't doing shit. Like you're always procrastinating, always double thinking stuff, because you don't think you're enough. So that's self-doubt in a nutshell.
I could say that's very much well explained. I mean, I'll share a personal story of when I was dealing with self-doubt, which was actually very much recently, and I remember it was our first Connectors Club event that I had to go talk, and I had to do a speech. And prior to that, I was thinking, am I able to do this? What if people don't like my speech? What if I go there and I fumble and I don't say what I'm supposed to say? I was just asking myself a lot of questions. And I remember going to Musa, be like, Musa, are you sure I should do this? Why should you do this? Like, no, you should do it. You're the perfect person to do it. And I'm like, am I really? So I just kept asking myself questions that led to me getting self-doubt. So I remember on the day of the event, I prepared my speech, I dressed well, and I'm like, I'm going to do this. I just had something in me saying, let me just go do this and let me see how it turns out.
Yeah.
Am I really not that guy, or am I just doubting myself? And I remember I went there and I started saying my first word. I said the first word, and the confidence in me just went, I just boomed up. And I spoke. I remember everyone coming to tell me, I remember Musa coming to tell me that, wow, are you sure you're the same person that was saying you can't do it? Because you really nailed it. And what pushed me more was that I saw other people coming to me saying, oh, your speech was very good. I remember actually one of the panelists came to me and said, wow, your speech was very good. And that really pushed me, because after that, I remember I was doing anything. And actually another story is, I was going to pitch a proposal to an investor. I remember prior going to that, it was about us, me and Musa. Prior to that, I was the only one going to present. So I remember prior to that, I was telling Musa, like, yo, why am I nervous? He's like, yo, don't worry. And I remember saying the exact same word, saying, Musa, actually, don't worry. As soon as I say the first word, I'm going to flow. And alhamdulillah, secured the bag, and the investor decided to invest.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is, I feel like self-doubt will happen, and I feel like has happened to everyone.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of how you deal with it. Because at the end of the day, you're going to ask yourself questions. There's always that second person inside your head that's asking you, that's pushing you back. It's a matter of how you push yourself forward. So the way you deal with it is the way you're going to come out of it.
Yeah.
So the way I talk to myself, I just say, whoever's up there tell me like I'm not going to do it, or get out of my head, because I'm going to go do it.
Yeah, I remember the way you were doing those speeches, and you did it very nice. But before that, you were doubting yourself that you couldn't do it. But after doing it, then it was all easy. So what do you think triggered those personal self-doubts?
I can say the common triggers for self-doubt are basically when someone starts comparing themselves to others.
Okay.
When you sit down there and said, oh, but this guy talked very good, I don't think I can do it like him. Or when you start saying, this guy went there up there and he didn't do well, what if I don't do well too? That moment there of you starting to compare yourself to others, that is self-doubt. You're self-doubting yourself, that just because someone did it well or someone didn't do it well at all, you're starting to doubt yourself. But all in all, you're your own person, and you should just believe in yourself, go up there and nail it. Because when we look at the event, you remember when Ambassador Yakubu went up there and he just started talking, he was just flowing.
Yeah.
So if I started looking up him and saying, well, how is he flowing, and what if I don't flow like that? I think I would have been more nervous. So you just have to look at yourself and say, you are Monty, you are Musa, I'm gonna go do this myself, and I'm gonna nail it. Once you do that there, you're killing that self-doubt. But another thing is past failures. Sometimes, as you talked about failure, that someone is scared of failing again. But we all know that failing is necessary in your life. You're gonna fail one way or another. So if you start looking at your past failures and say, but I failed last time, how am I gonna pass again? For example, if you did your exam, and now if you did a retake, and if you start thinking of the past exam that you failed, you're most likely going to fail. But you just have to believe in yourself, go in there and nail it. But I think the main common thing here that I'm saying is belief. You just have to believe in yourself. Believing in yourself is necessary. You see Ronaldo. Actually, in Canada, when I was in Canada, I was playing football, and one of my boys called Eddie. We play football, and I remember I used to miss a chance, and I'm like, damn, I just missed it. He's like, bro, Foden misses 10 chances, scores 1 goal. Who are you to say that you're gonna score every chance that you get? Yeah. But if I kept doubting myself that, damn, I missed that, I missed this, that means my whole game will be bad. But move on. Just keep moving on and keep believing in yourself. That's how I think you're gonna kill self-doubt. But yeah, that's some of the triggers of self-doubt.
You know, people make a lot of mistakes, and what I think is you should never be afraid of making mistakes, because mistakes are what pushes you forward. You should never be afraid to fail, as long as you are failing forward. You have to fail fast and fail forward, so that you can know everything that doesn't work, and then do the stuff that will work, you know. And the number one mistake that people make is doubting themselves. I remember when you started MOD podcast, I was so excited. Like, I was always excited about what I'm going to talk about, what I'm going to share. But behind the scenes, I was always doubting myself. I was thinking okay, will people really listen to me? What if I fail? What if this doesn't work out? You know? So we were always like spending a lot of hours planning, learning about our episodes. If I would have ever doubted myself, probably there wouldn't be MOD podcast right now. But we took that first step, we moved on, and at the end of the day, here we are right now, 1 year later, a lot of followers, a lot of subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And also, one particular moment just happened last month, I think, when we were nominated for Tanzania Digital Awards. You know, I was shocked, first of all. Like, okay, why did they nominate us? What did they see in us? I was doubting myself. Podcast of the year in Tanzania, that's a big thing. So instead of feeling proud, I was riddled by self-doubt. I had thoughts like, do we really deserve this? And then I was thinking like, okay, what if people realized that we are not good enough as they think? You know, it kept me up at night like so many times. But at the end of the day, some people came to me and they were like, yo, you guys, you deserve it. They have seen something. You have been working for the whole entire year. You have done something. There are a lot of podcasts in Tanzania, but they have never been seen. So that really helped me to believe myself even more and believe in what we have been doing, sharing value to the people.
I think what I'm getting from there, what I'm personally taking into, is that the fact that you have tried to